Hello students, welcome to Learners University. I am Rupalkar Anand and in today's video we will discuss types of subordinate clauses. In previous video we have discussed the introduction of clauses in which I have told you what are clauses, what are finite and non-finite verbs and their examples, and now in today's video we will discuss what are the types of subordinate clause in which, and we will discuss the types of adverb clause, then we will discuss the types of sentences. So without wasting time, let's get started. So the first type of subordinate clause is noun clause. The noun clause is the answer to the question who or what. A noun clause is a clause that functions like a noun and can form the subject of the verb or the complement of the verb or the object of the verb, preposition or to infinite or participle. Now let's take the examples. It can work as a subject of the verb. For example, where she disappeared is not known. Here where she disappeared is a clause. Similarly, it can be an object of the verb, object of preposition, object of positive infinite or object of participle. You can see the examples I have written below. For example, I don't know where I put my shoes. Everything depends on what he decides. I want to believe that all is well. Realizing that he had committed a mistake, he apologized. You can see that in all these sentences they are answering something, where, what, that kind of things. The next is adjective or relative clause. It is the kind of a clause that qualifies a noun or a pronoun. Basically, it is related to the main clause. The relative clause is a clause that refers to the earlier a noun, pronoun, sentence or a part of the sentence. It begins with a relative pronoun like who, whose, which, that. For example, the boy who beat me. The boy who beat me is the relative clause. Basically, relative clause is connected to the main clause. In suppose there are one sentence that is connected, that is main clause, and the another sentence will be connected to the main clause. So let's take few examples so that you can clear the mind about the adjective clause. Here look at some example. The man who is talking on the phone is my boss. First, the man is my boss. The second, the man who is talking on the phone. So who is talking on the phone cannot be fulfilled without the man is my boss. So who is talking on my phone is the relative or the adjective clause, and the man is my boss is a noun clause. So you can see the main clause. So you can see that the adjective clause qualifies the main clause. In another example, you can see destiny favor those who work sincerely. Who, which, whom, that, where, when, why, whose. These are all the adjective clause. The next is adverb clause. Just like adjective clause, adverb clause is the clause that functions like an adverb. It gives more information about any place, time, cause, comparison of the verb and adjective or another adverb. It is placed or after the main clause. It is basically to tell us about something. Like it can qualify a verb. Here you can see it is telling us the time. Blow the candle when it is lit. In next, it is qualifying an adjective. She is more attractive than I imagined. It can qualify the adverb. He talked so sweetly, softly, that audience become restless. So in all these sentences, either it is qualifying a verb or an adjective or an adverb. Now adverbs are of many kind, of time, place, manner, purpose. Here I will study when I want to. the same sentence we have discussed, that blow the candle when it is lit. So here it expresses the time. The next is place. They can go where they like. Of manner, you may work as you desire. Of walk carefully lest you fall. So now we will study the another kinds of adverb clause. Of reason, I like her because she is kind. I will help you if you obey me. This is of condition. Of result, he is so strong that he can lift this box. Of comparison, this is bigger than I thought. Of concession, he kept trying even though it was tough. I have underlined the adverb clause, and every time we study about some kind of clause, I underline the sentence so that you can understand it better. Now let's study the difference between the adverb clause, adjective clause and noun clause. As you can see, the noun clause is the dependent clause that function as a noun. Noun clause function as a noun. It can act as a subject, object and the subject complement. A noun clause are written with commas. Adjective clause is a dependent clause on the function as an adjective. Adjective clause function as an adjective and modifies the noun. Adjective clause is sometimes set off by the comma. Basically, it means that sometimes we don't use commas in the adjective clause. Now let's see the comparison between adjective clause and adverb clause. Adjective clause modifies nouns or the pronouns. Answer which one or what kind. Begins with the relative pronoun who, whom, whose, which or that, or certainly subordinating conjunction when, where or since. An adverb clause modifies the verb, adjective or adverb. Answer where, when, in what way, to what extent, under what conditions or why. It begins with the subordinating conjunction, for example, after, though, as if, because, even, since, etc. So I hope you can understand the basic difference between the adverb clause, noun clause and adjective clause. Now we are left with the only last kind of clause, that is coordinate clause. Let me revise this thing. We have discussed the types of clauses, the kinds of clauses in the first video, in which I have discussed with you the main or the principal clause, the subordinate clause, the types of subordinate clause, and now we will discuss the coordinate clause. Coordinate clause is very easy. Basically, coordinate clauses are those clauses in which two clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunction. The clause forms part of a sentence, but in rank it is equal to principal clause. Of course, it doesn't matter. Basically, alone it cannot form a sentence. It is connected to the principal clause by the coordinating conjunction through the principal clause. Like in a simple language, I can tell you that there are two principal clauses and they are joined by the coordinating conjunction. So let's take view at some examples. He gets up early in the morning and goes out for a walk. Here, he gets up early in the morning dash goes out for a walk. Both are the the noun clause and join both the sentence. Let's take look at another example. He is poor but he is honest. You may work hard or you can't succeed. In the above sentences, the group of words given in the bold are the coordinate clauses. Here the conjunction are and, but, or is called coordinating conjunction. Now let's study the types of sentences. We were doing the clauses, so I thought that it is a great idea to tell you the type of sentences along with it. So technically there are only three types of sentences, that is simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence. Let's start with the simple sentence. Simple sentences is the sentences consist of one subject and one finite verb. Now finite verbs I have already told you and I'm not going to tell you again. So if you want to understand clearly what is finite verbs, I can only advise you to go to the previous video and watch it, so that you cannot hung in between ki what is a finite verb and what is non-finite verbs. In previous video I have given you a detailed explanation of finite verb and non-finite verbs. Moving ahead, if a sentence consists of one subject and one finite verb, it is called a simple subject. It consists of main clause. For example, the mother tiger subject saw finite verb her cubs. So the mother tiger saw her cubs, in which subject is the mother tiger and finite verb is saw. So this is only one clause. Let's move to the next one. Now, compound sentence is the sentence which consists of two or more coordinate clauses. It is actually two simple sentences joined by the coordinating conjunction like and, but, etc. For example, the mother tiger saw her cubs. That's the first clause. And she becomes happy. That is second clause. Now, overall, if you are seeing that one clause consists of one subject and finite verb, and another clause consists of one subject and finite verb. So in total we have two subjects and two finite verbs. So when there are two subjects and two finite verbs, it is the compound sentence. So what is complex sentence? A complex sentence is a sentence which consists of minimum two clauses, one dependent and other joined together with subordinate conjunction like because, that, whether, so, if, WH words like why, when, where, like, why, when, how, etc. Now you can see in this kind of clause it is two clauses, but they are not connected with the coordinating conjunction. They are connected with the subordinating conjunction like when, or they can be connected with the comma. For example, the mother tiger saw her cubs, comma, she becomes very happy. The two clauses are connecting here with the comma. So this is it. Today we have discussed everything about clauses, as well as we have also discussed types of sentences. But if you have any doubt, you can tell me in the comment section, and please tell me if you want some exercises of all the grammatical concepts we have discussed. And we are also working very hard on the blog or the PPTs, and we will be adding it on the description as soon as possible. So this is it for today. Have a good day, and please like and subscribe Learners University.